Atlanta Falcons 7-round mock draft. This has the potential to be one of the quickest mock drafts we do. They have 15, 46, 118, 218, and 242. We're not going to trade up for 15. When you look at the Atlanta Falcons depth chart, my gosh, do they need pass rushers, guys? I like Leonard Floyd. I do, but these guys cannot get after the quarterback. It's been an issue for a long time. Now you lose Matthew Judon, and now, above anything else, you lose Grady Jarrett. This is the guy that's been the centerpiece of your defensive line for, 10 years? However long he's been in the NFL. He is gone now. You need answers up front. You need answers on the front seven, to be honest with you. I think their secondary is okay. I think offensively they can do enough. They can keep Penix upright. They can run the football. They have some good receivers. Maybe we look later on in the draft for some type of depth at the receiver position, but it has to be up front with probably the first two picks. And again, picking at 15, there's going to be edge rushers there. I would not worry about the Atlanta Falcons and the ability to find defensive linemen in the draft, especially when you're considering the teams before them really aren't going to prioritize edge rushers as much as the teams behind them in that 19 to 24 range. That's where teams could trade up. That's where it could get sketchy. But for all intents and purposes, we are going to stick at 15 with the Atlanta Falcons. As always, if you're new, my name is Max. I'm doing a 7-round mock draft for every single team leading up to the NFL draft. So if you're new, make sure you subscribe, join the family so you can see all the other ones that are coming out. We're going up to number 1. We also have a playlist with every single one that I've done in the description. Make sure you check them out. If you're not a Falcons fan, you want to check out your favorite team's mock draft, playlist is in the description. Without further ado, though, let's get into this mock draft. So the Atlanta Falcons are on the clock at pick 15. We're going to go through pretty quickly here. Again, we don't need to skip around, play around here. Mike Green is on the board. I don't think we need to overthink it. The only other guys that I like are Donovan Ezerauku from Boston College. And I do like James Pierce Jr., but I think that's a late first-round guy. Jalen Walker is an interesting one. Did he go already? I can't. No. Jalen Walker is not gone, but it's Jalen Walker or Mike Green for all intents and purposes. I think the more athletic, pure pass rusher is Mike Green. So we're going to go Mike Green. I'm going to slow this down a little bit, but the reality is, guys, you can look at the players who are going off the board. The Falcons don't have the resources to trade up. They're going to have to take the best player available, and Omar Norman-Lott is the best player available, and it fits exactly what they need. They need to beef up front. They need to make up for the loss of Grady Jarrett. That has to be priority number 1 and 2 for this team. That is an absolute no-brainer pick. And now we're going to be on the clock in 60 picks. So if you would have told me this is how we would have started the draft, I would have been ecstatic. You get an edge rusher, you get your defensive interior guy. That mid-40 spot is where a lot of those really good nose tackles tend to go. And now we're on the clock here at 118. Kyle Williams is a very fascinating prospect, right? You look at this guy, 6 foot 186, a good separation guy. I struggle to believe he can consistently be an outside guy. 6 foot 186 is a little bit light, but he is a starter. He can provide you some depth. Obviously, you have Darnell Mooney, Ray McLeod, and Drake London on your roster. But outside of that, you really want to roll Kadarius Hodge out there as your 4th receiver, Chris Blair, guys like that. Jamal Agnew's a returner. I think you need some more help. I honestly think you could use it at the wide receiver position. But is it Kyle Williams, or do you try to get a pass catcher in a tight end? Now, one of my favorite tight ends in this draft, late round guy, Oronde Gadsden. I'm going to hold out some hope for him right there. So I think Kyle Williams is the pick here. This is a starting caliber wide receiver that's still available at 118 for the Atlanta Falcons. This is a no-brainer to me. And here's what stinks, guys. I told you this is going to be a quick mock draft. You're not going to be watching very long. We got 80 picks left until we're on the clock. But when you look at the picks we have so far, again, this is the need, and this will help the depth. If not, get a starter where you can put Darnell Mooney. Drake London tends to operate in the slot too. If you guys watched my channel last year, you know how much we break down the slot receiver data. Drake London was a big slot for a lot of the year. Now we're on the clock at 218. Maybe you try to get some interior offensive lineman help. The tight ends that I was talking about, Oronde Gadsden, is still on the board. Will he be there at 242? My guess is yes, but do we take the chance? Are there players that are available right now that would drastically help us? Again, I think we need somebody to play on the inside, the front 7. That has to be the priority. Jake Majors is on the board. Again, Atlanta, to me, is okay up front. I think a center would help above anything else. I love Jake Matthews. I love Chris Lindstrom. Matthew Bergeron's been good, but do we take Jake Majors right now and help the need at center, help the depth at center? I mean, he started, 3 straight years at Texas? The only thing is there's some good linebackers available. A guy like Jay Higgins who can go bump outside, who's really good in coverage, but is a traditional box defender. I think that may help our team a little bit more than a center would. I think we roll Jake Higgins here. And then with our last pick, again, if Oronde Gadsden just went, so he's off the board. Ty Robinson is still on the board at 242. I almost think this is too good of a player to pass up. He is, this is best player available, not thinking too much about it. I mean, again, they need help on the inside, guys. They really, really need help on the inside. They got some depth, but can you confidently say that you can believe in that depth? I don't think you can. I think they need it. I think Ty Robinson's the best player on the board. Let's see what grade we get for this draft. I like it a lot. I think we just took best player on the board for 4 of the 5 picks. Look at this, guys. Oh, my gosh. This is my first draft I've done that's got an A+. Mike Green, Omar Norman Lott, Kyle Williams, Jay Higgins, Ty Robinson. Literally every pick in this draft, at least according to PFF, is graded as an A. I personally think the best pick here is Omar Norman Lott. This is a starter that's going to come in. You get him in the second round. I personally like this draft a lot. If you are a Falcons fan, definitely let me know what you think. But make sure you guys are tuned in for the rest of these mock drafts. Press subscribe, like this video. If you enjoyed it, we'll see you next time. God bless.